You think you're in control when you open TikTok or Instagram, but your brain has been hacked, and you're not even aware of it. Social media isn't just addictive by accident. It's engineered using one of the most powerful mind control tools in history, the variable reward system. It works like this. Every time you scroll, your brain is gambling. Maybe the next video will be funny. Maybe it'll be shocking. Maybe it'll be boring. That maybe is what keeps you hooked. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. And it's the same technique used in slot machines. It floods your brain with dopamine, the chemical linked to pleasure, learning, and habit formation. But here's the dangerous part. Over time, your brain starts craving the anticipation of the reward more than the reward itself. This creates a dopamine loop. You keep scrolling not because you're entertained, but because your brain is chasing the next hit. Add to that the infinite scroll feature, a design trick that removes any friction from stopping. No, are you done? No end of feed. Just endless hypnotic motion. Your brain never gets a cue to stop. It's the psychological equivalent of a treadmill you can't get off. And the longer you stay, the more data they collect, the more ads they feed you, and the more you become the product. You think you're choosing what to watch, but really your behavior is being shaped in real time by algorithms trained to exploit your subconscious. The average user spends over 2 hours per day scrolling. That's 30 days a year of your life gone. And the scariest part? You don't even remember what you saw. You were never in control. They just made you feel like you were. Want to break free from it? You'll need to understand how they manipulate not just your attention, but your decisions. We'll cover that in part 2. How brands hack your brain to make you buy. Every day you make hundreds of decisions. But what if I told you most of them aren't actually yours? From the color of the buttons you click, to the words on the packaging, even the smell inside a store. It's all designed to trigger your brain into buying. Let's start with a dirty little trick. Anchoring. Imagine this. A luxury watch is listed at $2,000, but it's on sale for $999. You feel like you're getting a deal. But here's the twist. It was never worth $2,000. They just anchored your brain to a higher price. So $999 feels like a steal. Next is loss aversion. Your brain is wired to fear losing more than it values gaining. So marketers use phrases like, "Only 2 left. Sale ends in 1 hour. Don't miss out." You're not shopping from logic. You're reacting to fear. Colors also play mind games. Red creates urgency. Blue builds trust. Yellow triggers optimism and hunger. That's why so many fast food logos use it. Even music is strategic. Slow tempos make you linger longer in stores. Upbeat playlists in ads create emotional highs that attach to products. And don't even get me started on decoy pricing. You see 3 versions of a product. Small for $4, medium for $6, large for $6.50. Suddenly the large looks like the smartest choice. That's not a deal. That's manipulation. Online, it's even worse. Ever clicked yes just to close a pop-up that said, "No thanks, I don't want to be successful"? That's not design. That's psychological coercion. We call it dark UX. Interfaces built to make you feel bad for not complying. In the world of marketing, you are not the customer. You are the target. And it's working. Americans see between 4,000, 10,000 ads per day, most without realizing it. Your attention is currency, and your emotions, the ultimate lever for control. But this rabbit hole goes deeper. If you think corporations are clever, wait until you see how politicians use the same tricks to control entire populations. That's coming in part 3. The hidden tricks in politics, news, and propaganda. What if your beliefs weren't yours? What if they were planted, one headline at a time? Welcome to the psychological warfare of politics and media, where words aren't just words, they're weapons. Let's start with framing. 2 headlines. Government invests in education. First, government spends taxpayer money on schools. Same fact. Different emotional impact. That's not journalism. That's neurolinguistic programming. subtle shifts in language that steer your perception. Next, fear conditioning. News outlets thrive on fear. Why? Because fear hijacks your amygdala, the part of your brain that processes threats. Scared brains stay tuned. Scared brains click more. Scared brains don't think clearly. They react. And when you're reactive, you're easy to manipulate. Ever notice how media repeats certain phrases? Illegal immigrants, war on terror, fake news. Repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity breeds belief, even if it's false. It's called the illusory truth effect. If you hear something enough times, your brain assumes it must be true. Now let's talk about outrage algorithms. Social media platforms prioritize content that makes you angry because rage spreads faster than facts. That means your feed isn't designed to inform you. It's designed to enrage you, to polarize you, to divide you. And then there's the US versus them tactic, a classic propaganda move. If you're not with us, you're against us. This shuts down nuance, creates tribal thinking, and makes people defend ideology over truth. The result? You don't just disagree with people. You dehumanize them. That's not politics. That's psychological warfare. Governments have studied this for decades, from CIA psyops to mass persuasion experiments. The techniques haven't vanished. They've just gone digital. So what can you do? First, question the narrative. If something makes you emotional, pause before reacting. Second, follow the language. Ask yourself, what are they trying to make me feel? And third, remember that critical thinking is the ultimate act of rebellion. Because in a world that profits off your fear, clarity is power. This was part 3 of our series. Dark psychology tricks they use on you every day. You've seen how social media, marketing, and propaganda shape your mind. Now the question is, can you take that control back?